This video will review 10 questions regarding weather that you may be asked on the oral portion of the private pilot Checkride. What is dew point and why is it important to pilots? The dew point is the temperature at which the air can no longer hold any more moisture. When the temperature of the air is reduced to the dew point, the air is completely saturated, and moisture begins to condense out of the air in the form of fog, dew, frost, clouds, rain, or snow. To illustrate, 1 cubic meter of air can hold 17 grams of water vapor at 20 degrees Celsius. When 17 grams of water vapor are present in 1 cubic meter of air at 20 degrees Celsius, this means that the relative humidity is 100%. Any further cooling will cause condensation such as clouds, fog, or dew to form. It is important for pilots to know the temperature dew point spread because the smaller the spread, the more likely that clouds or fog will form. The temperature and dew point are always given in an automated weather advisory when listening to the ATIS or on a weather report such as a METAR. What conditions are associated with a warm front? A warm front occurs when a warm mass of air advances and replaces a body of colder air. When flying into an oncoming warm front, a pilot could expect lowering cloud ceilings and precipitation as illustrated in the chart. Suppose the warm front was advancing eastward from St. Louis to Pittsburgh and we were flying into the oncoming warm front from Pittsburgh to St. Louis. Pittsburgh is reporting scattered clouds at 15,000 feet with 10 statute miles of visibility. Everything looks good until just after Columbus. Conditions are much worse in Indianapolis and St. Louis. Indianapolis is reporting a 2,000-foot broken cloud layer and visibility is only 3 miles. At St. Louis, the conditions are even worse with an overcast cloud layer at 1,000 feet and only 1 statute mile visibility. It would be advised to land at Columbus and wait for conditions to improve unless we were instrument rated and felt comfortable flying in IFR conditions. What are the 3 types of structural icing? The 3 types of structural icing are rime ice, clear ice, and mixed ice. Rime ice is a rough, milky, and opaque ice formed by the instantaneous freezing of small, supercooled water droplets after they strike the aircraft. It is the most frequently reported icing type. Clear ice is glossy, clear, or translucent ice formed by the relatively slow freezing of large, supercooled water droplets. Clear icing is a more hazardous ice type for many reasons. It tends to form horns near the top and bottom of the airfoil's leading edge, which greatly affects airflow. Mixed ice is a mixture of clear and rime ice. What is wind shear and where is it most likely to occur? Wind shear is dangerous to an aircraft. It can rapidly change the performance of the aircraft and disrupt the normal flight attitude. Wind shear is a sudden, drastic change in wind speed and/or direction over a very small area. Wind shear can subject an aircraft to violent updrafts and downdrafts, as well as abrupt changes to the horizontal movement of the aircraft. Low-level wind shear is commonly associated with passing frontal systems, thunderstorms, temperature inversions, and strong upper-level winds, greater than 25 knots. When faced with wind shear, pilots must be prepared to react immediately to maintain control of the aircraft. What are the 3 stages of a thunderstorm? Thunderstorms have 3 stages: cumulus, mature, and dissipating. The cumulus stage starts with a strong convective updraft of warm, rising air concentrated near the top of the cloud. The thunderstorm transitions to the mature stage when precipitation reaches the surface. The precipitation then descends through the cloud and drags the adjacent air downward, creating a strong downdraft alongside the updraft. The dissipating stage is marked by a strong downdraft embedded within the area of precipitation. What 3 conditions are needed for thunderstorms to develop? For thunderstorms to develop, there needs to be water vapor, unstable air, and a source of lift. Pilots should become familiar with weather patterns that can lead to thunderstorms because thunderstorms can be very hazardous to flight. You encounter some weather in flight that wasn't reported on your pre-flight weather briefing. You decide to make a PIREP. How do you do this? PIREPs should be given to the ground facility with which communications are established. For example, Flight Service Station, Air Traffic Control Centers, or Terminal ATC. One of the important responsibilities for pilots is to serve as a collection point for the exchange of pilot reports with en route aircraft. If pilots are not able to make PIREPs by radio, reporting upon landing of the in-flight weather conditions encountered to the nearest flight service station or weather forecast office will be helpful. What are the various methods for obtaining a pre-flight weather briefing? Most pilots can obtain pre-flight weather briefing through mobile apps such as ForeFlight or Garmin Pilot. Pre-flight weather briefings can also be obtained by calling flight service at 1-800-WX-BRIEF or visiting the flight service website listed. What conditions are associated with an occluded front? An occluded front occurs when a fast-moving cold front catches up with a slow-moving warm front. As the occluded front approaches, warm front weather prevails but is immediately followed by cold front weather. Weather systems associated with occluded fronts include embedded thunderstorms, rain, and fog. What conditions are associated with a cold front? A cold front occurs when a mass of cold, dense, and stable air advances and replaces a body of warmer air. As the cold front passes, towering cumulus or cumulonimbus clouds are present in the sky. There may be heavy rain showers accompanied by lightning, thunder, and/or hail, depending on the intensity of the cold front. Severe cold fronts can also produce tornadoes. Visibility is generally poor with variable and gusty winds during a cold front passage. In addition, the temperature and dew point can drop rapidly during a cold front. Thank you for watching the video. Please like the video and subscribe for more private pilot Checkride test questions and other aviation-related educational videos.